Okay, aside from the first warning, which is that they're going to try to deepfake my face, all my videos don't look like me. It's very stupid. They're gonna try to make me look like 20 years older, and they're gonna like make sure that all of the stuff like just looks obtrusive, like any flaw. That's what they do. They try to discredit you by making you look ugly, which is fine. I don't really care. The point is, why am I like wearing a hat when I sleep? I'm wearing all these clothes because I'm setting my thermostat in the 50s because I feel like it's a waste of energy and resources, and it increases the carbon footprint. And I feel like if everybody who lived as one person in such a square footage heated up the house to like 70 degrees, then we'd have a tremendous disaster, because we all should live in climates which we don't necessarily even need to heat or cool. Okay, like genetically, naturally, if I could, I would not heat the house at all. But I'm not, the super cold climate type of person. So I am a moderate cold climate type of person. Now, people were like, oh, here's the hot topics for today. Okay, they're like, oh, they're trying to get black people to move out of Detroit and white people to move out of Atlanta. And as though that's an issue. I'm just like, that's your climate contribution, okay? Because as a general rule, people who are fairer skinned live better in cold climates. They tolerate cold climates better. And that's your contribution to creating a better gene pool for humans overall. Okay? And given that we have eternal souls, we have to think about what makes it worth heaven's while for our souls to be eternal. And to say that we have zero accountability and that we have no responsibility in trying to help evolution along is simply not a thing. Okay, so if you can't make the sacrifices, then why should you have an eternal soul? What's the purpose of an eternal soul if you're going to screw up your genome and you have no bodies that are genetically climate resistant so that you could avert extinction events? Why would you need an eternal soul if you don't do some level of service to help humanity? Like, here, let's say you really hate hot weather, okay, and you moved really far up north and it's really cold, okay? Then you're saving the planet in terms of not having to, turn up the heat during the winters. And in the summers, you wouldn't have to crank up the AC as much as if you were in the South. Okay, so quite obviously, if people just went where they're genetically better off, naturally, without heating or cooling, then we have a baseline of energy consumption that is far lower. Okay, and that doesn't cost anybody anything except for maybe a little bit of discomfort. But then you think, oh, you know what? Is your soul eternal? If your soul is eternal, then like, why would you care where you live? Like, you could be on another planet, like in another solar system, in another galaxy, or in another universe. Okay, if your soul is eternal, then you have a responsibility. Okay, you have the responsibility to help along the project of making sure that we still have climate resistant genetic specimens in large enough populations. So to say, oh, you know what, white people can't live in the South, like, and they want to boot white people out of Atlanta. It's like, Atlanta's hot in the summers. Yeah, if you're cooling your house, then you ought to just move somewhere where you don't have to cool your house. Or you could stay there and just not cool your house, not have AC at all. And some people, and they can tolerate that, okay? And it comes down to, if you think about it, can people really survive like huge climate differentials compared to their counterparts? And the answer is yes. There are people who can soak in like ice cold water for longer periods of time than others without developing hypothermia. Okay, it's a genetic, physiological phenomenon. Yeah. That's not something we can argue with. And so we, eternal souls, have to think about what we can do to contribute to the betterment of the physical human form.